Imagine you're in school.
I think y'all know who vetili is. We're gonna be reacting to his newest video. It was released 7 hours ago, so we're gonna react to it.
And you come up with an idea for a prank that you know will have the rest of the students talking about you for years. But when you actually attempt to do the prank, it accidentally turns into a real.
So what the frick happened, huh? What the frick happened? Huh? What the frick happened? Explain to me, huh?
Crime. Because that's exactly what happened to me when my friends and I came up with the best idea ever: steal a school bus. Well, not really steal, but borrow it. And everything was going perfectly to plan until my friend got behind the wheel and did something that got everyone on that bus in big trouble. So let's start from the beginning. One day, me and a couple other people.
Dude, what? What? How did you went to jail? That's actually pretty cool. Yeah. What? I didn't say anything. Shut up. What did I?
People were sitting in our friend's basement, and we all were thinking about the exact same thing. What is our senior prank gonna be? And for those of you who don't know what a senior prank is, it's when you're in your last year of high school and you pull a prank on all the teachers or the workers at that school. It's basically your way of going out with a bang before you graduate high school. And let's just say, to me and my friends, the senior prank was our Super Bowl. We heard crazy stories about all the other.
Guess what? Did you know that somebody once actually killed their teacher for a senior prank? Did you know that?
Previous pranks that students pulled, like putting a bunch of balloons in the principal's office or TPing the school. But we wanted to do something bigger, something that would guarantee that all the future students would be talking about me and my friend group for years to come. So there we were, me and my 5.
Also, it's like my mic working. I don't know, chat. I don't know if it's working anymore. What the?
Friends sitting around in Jake's basement trying to brainstorm what good idea.
Oh my god, bro, he got kidnapped. He got kidnapped. Alright, my mic is not even working.
Ideas are. We threw out all the usual ones. Cover the principal's office in Christmas wrapping paper.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool actually, yeah. Yeah, we gotta cover, we should probably like cover the entire world in Christmas wrapping paper. That's how we should do that, Tyler.
Nah, that's not special enough, and it would take forever. Release 3 pigs in the hallways that had.
What the frick? The country
Labels on them that said 1, 2, and 4, so everyone would spend a bunch of time looking for number 3. Nah, that had already been done at our school like 10 years ago. We needed something original, something that would actually get people talking.
That's pretty cool. Hit your funny bone. Hit their funny bone. Hit your funny bone. Yeah.
And that's when my friend Marcus had a crazy idea. He goes, what if we stole a school bus? At first, we all just started laughing because it did not sound
Yeah, we should probably steal all the money from the bank and then the school and then like maybe the entire government. Because like we are kind of evil, like Tyler would say.
at all. But then we realized Marcus was serious. And the more he talked about it, the more it made sense on how it could happen. Because Marcus's dad was one of the school drivers at that school. So he had an actual plan for how we could do this. And shockingly, his plan was so simple that it couldn't go wrong, right? This is what it was. Around midnight,
we have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base 44. This is a first look at the
Marcus would take his dad's keys and badge to get into the school bus parking lot. We'd sneak over to where the buses are parked when nobody's around. We would then take one of the buses and drive straight to our principal's house. Then we'd park it right in his drive.
Yeah, you should probably also run into her house. That's gonna be a cool. No, it's hard. Also, for everyone that's watching right now, what did y'all dress up for Halloween? All right, just asking.
Driveway and ring his doorbell. And when he opens the door, just imagine the look on our.
Ding dong ditch, get shots. Ding dong. You ding dong ditch somebody. Ding dong ditch. The person comes out with a gun, shoots you in the freaking head. Alright, that's pretty good.
Principal's face when he sees 6 students that stole a school bus. It would be legendary.
Yeah, I also saw.
And we knew this.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Tyler Vetili, that is very relatable. Yeah, we totally all stole a school bus. Yeah, we all did that. Yeah, why does it say relatable? How is that relatable?
Imagine you're in school and you come.
Oh my god. Now I have to restart this.
My friend Jake knew our principal's address. Don't ask why. And my friend Sarah said she would bring her camera to record the whole thing as proof so we could go down in history.
Yeah. Wait, she's animating the entire thing.
After we all agreed to doing this, we go wrong, and eventually would go wrong. We were all just too eager to own the title of doing the most legendary senior prank ever. And after a couple of weeks of waiting,
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Guys, I didn't say anything, alright? I never said anything, chat.
our day finally came. We were doing it on a Thursday night in April, purposefully on a night where we had school the next day, so we
Why didn't you do it on April Fool's? For reason? For legal? Please do not try this out. I'm gonna
could hear what all the other students had to say about it when we showed them what we did. The day went by just as planned. We went to school, Marcus went home.
Source filmmaker. Source filmmaker. Source filmmaker.
And a couple hours later, his dad got home, tossed his keys and badge on the counter like always, and watched TV. Later that night, right after his dad went to bed, Marcus grabs his dad's keys and badge, snuck out with it, and we all...
Well, wait, does he even have a license? Hold on, I gotta turn off this music. It's like, it's annoying music. Oh my god, I cannot. This music just hells to... No. Thank you. So, it's like, does he have a license? Like, I just realized, chat.
met up at Jake's house. Jake pretty much raised himself, so his parents literally could not care less that there was 5 students coming over on a school night at 11:30 p.m. Everything was going perfectly to plan. Marcus...
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, they just think that's so normal. Yeah, W for their parents. Yeah, W, chap. W Tyler Vetili now. Yeah, we're gonna, instead of saying W speed, we're gonna say W Tyler.
Marcus was the last one to arrive at Jake's house, and when he did, the mission was officially on. The bus depot was only about a 10-minute walk from Jake's, so we walked there together. It's just a big fenced parking lot where they literally put the buses over.
Oh yeah, I think that's literally where they store like every single school bus. Like I'm pretty sure there's at least like one for every school district. If there's not one for like the school district you're going to, then it's definitely a scam or you're an occultist.
Overnight. There's a gate that stops any bus from getting through or out of.
You know, I wonder if this guy lives in Ohio. Like, this guy's mind is cursed. Like, can someone explain to me? What is he thinking in his brain? Alright. We're gonna react to it. Alright, hold on.
About a 5-minute drive. Get in and get out. But what we didn't know before was that of it. But Marcus had his dad's badge, so when he scanned it, just like that, the gate opened.
Yeah.
Marcus led us straight to the bus that his dad always drove. Bus number 38. He pulled out the keys, put them into the bus, and the door opened. We all looked at each other like, okay. And all of a sudden, Anthony starts getting a little too confident. He's honking the horn, flashing all the lights. And at first, we were cheering it on. We could feel that this night was going to be legendary. But then, Anthony started making turns that weren't on the way.
Yeah. We're not gonna go to the principal house. We're gonna destroy the world. No. We're gonna destroy the world. You're a big bat.
Okay, this is actually happening now. Anthony climbed into the driver's seat while the rest of us were going crazy over the fact that this was actually working. He put the key in the keyhole, or whatever you call it. He turned it, and after a couple of sounds, the bus was ready to go. The original plan was for Anthony to drive straight. Everyone being impressed by what he was doing. He got more and more excited the further he drove and wanted to keep doing something more crazy. We got to about a 5-minute drive. Get in and get out. But what we didn't know before was that Anthony had his own ideas. Because Anthony's always been the type of guy that's just kind of a psychopath. He's the one who does back backflips off the roof at pool parties, always doing wheelies on his dirt bike, just crazy stuff that I'm way too scared to ever try. So we're exiting the parking lot, and all of a sudden, Anthony starts getting a little too confident. He's honking the horn, flashing all the lights, and at first, we were cheering it on. We could feel that this night was gonna be legendary. But then, Anthony started making turns that weren't on the way to...
True that. Oh my god, wait! Oh my god! He split
our principal's house. When Marcus asked him where he was going, Anthony just grinned and told him that he was taking the scenic route. None of us had any idea what that meant. This wasn't planned, but everyone else seemed to still be having a good time, so I just went along with it. But eventually, I had to say something because things started to get out of hand. Anthony was feeding off the attention of everyone being impressed by what he was doing. He got more and more excited the further he drove and wanted to keep doing something more crazy. We got to this intersection and Anthony had to choose exactly which way to go. Left takes us towards the principal's house like we planned, and right takes us towards the freeway entrance. I'm sitting there assuming that he's gonna turn left. We all thought he was gonna turn left. That was literally the entire point of the operation. But Anthony had been getting more and more pumped up from all the attention, so he wanted to do something bigger. Something that he thought would really impress everyone in the group. So when we got to that intersection, he didn't turn left toward the principal's house. Of course he didn't. He turned right onto the freeway. Danny and Sarah were screaming with excitement when he did this. Meanwhile, me and Marcus were screaming with terror. The second Anthony merged that school bus onto the freeway, our group split down the middle. Sarah and Danny were cheering like we were...
He's gonna kill you. That's what's gonna happen. Alright, that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna kill you, okay?
on some crazy roller coaster, but Marcus went completely pale and started hyperventilating. Because remember, this is Marcus's dad's school bus, so he did not want to take any risks with it. I'm sitting there gripping the seat in front of me thinking that we're taking this way too far. Let me paint you a picture of what this looked like. It's past midnight on a Thursday, and there's this big yellow school bus flying down the freeway when you look inside it and see 6 teenagers who look like they don't even have their license yet. Anyone who saw us on that freeway...
Nah, we're not gonna slow down, bro. We're gonna keep killing ourselves.
Probably thought that we were insane asylum patients who just escaped. Marcus is standing up trying to get Anthony's attention, and he's like, dude, you need to get off at the next exit. This wasn't the plan. I don't know what my dad will do if he finds out about this. If anything happens to the school bus...
There's like 6 or 7 students in there. Hey, 6, 7, 6, 7.
It's gonna be all my fault. But Anthony was too locked in, so he just laughed and sped up even faster. He even started swerving in between lanes just to mess with us. Not that there were many people on the freeway at this time, but still. This guy was treating the school bus like it was a Lamborghini. Sarah was telling Anthony to go faster because I guess she just didn't care about making it back that night. Danny's hanging out one of the windows, yelling at cars that passed by us. These 3 were having the time of their lives, while the rest of us were planning our funeral arrangements. The arguing got so loud that I couldn't even hear myself think. Marcus is now screaming at Anthony to turn around. Jake's trying to be the voice of reason, saying, hey, maybe we should at least slow down a little bit. Meanwhile, Anthony's just ignoring all of us and locked in on the road. It was clear to me at this point that we had gone too far. We weren't just borrowing a school bus for 20 minutes to scare our principal. We were joyriding a stolen school bus on a major freeway at midnight. I want you to just imagine what would happen if we got pulled over by the cops. There was no way to... explain the situation to them. But luckily, we wouldn't have to. Imagine this happening just a couple minutes later. Marcus kept trying to reason with Anthony to get him off the freeway, but he was way too far gone. He was honking at random cars, flashing the headlights. He even flipped open the stop sign that school buses have for some reason. Let's just say, the way he was driving made me look like a really good civilian when I'm playing GTA. Even Danny, who was having a blast when this all started, was now getting a little bit nervous when Anthony was speeding through lanes. Because school buses are not Lamborghinis. I don't think you're supposed to drive them like this. The whole thing was shaking and rattling like it was gonna fall apart with how fast we were going. Every time we hit the smallest bump, we all shot up for a second. But here's the thing we didn't know. While we're having this argument and Anthony's trying to show off, there was something happening back at school that none of us had any... any idea about during this moment. School buses have GPS tracking systems built into them. Every single bus gets tracked electronically, so they always know where every single one is at. So while we're cruising down the interstate thinking that we're so clever, some employee for the school district was getting notified that bus 38 was cruising down the freeway for some reason at midnight. And because of this, our little joyride was about to become a big problem. We had no idea that while we were in the bus, we were getting in trouble in that very moment. Because Marcus never told us, nor did he know himself, that these buses have GPS tracking systems. The people responsible for monitoring this stuff must have got notified about it. The alert probably went off the moment we left that parking lot. Now picture this. It's 1 a.m, and you're the person responsible for making sure there's a little dot on the freeway that represents the bus.
Yay!
All the school buses are where they're supposed to be. When suddenly, you get woken up by your phone buzzing with an alert. You check your phone and see that one of your school buses is traveling down the freeway at 70 miles per hour. Of course, you're only gonna think one thing. Someone just stole that school bus. So the supervisor responsible for watching all these buses starts calling all the other school bus drivers because he knows they're the only ones that have access to the buses. He's trying to figure out if anyone knows why one of the school buses is currently taking a joyride around the county. But when he's making these calls, most of the drivers don't even answer because it's so late at night. But then Marcus's dad gets the call. Picture this guy sound in bed when his work phone starts ringing.
He knows, bro. Oh my god.
At 1:15 in the night. Nobody calls you this late unless something really bad happened. Like last time I got a call from someone this late, it was because my goldfish ran away. So Marcus's dad answers the phone and his supervisor asks him if he knows anything about this stolen school bus. The dad is confused at first and he's like, "What do you mean my bus is missing? I parked it at the depot yesterday, just like every other day." The supervisor sends him a picture of the tracking system and sure enough, there's a little dot on the freeway that represents the bus. Now, Marcus's dad is starting to panic because someone definitely stole his bus. But then he starts thinking about it more. Who would steal a school bus? How would they get the keys for it? Because the keys were sitting on his kitchen counter where he always leaves them. But when he goes downstairs to check, they're not there. He wakes up his family to ask if they've seen the keys, but that's when he notices Marcus isn't home. By now, he's putting 2 and 2 together. He doesn't know what happened, but he knows that Marcus is involved. Explain to his dad that it was just supposed to be a harmless senior prank. We weren't actually going to do anything. But then his dad tells us that the school district knows the school bus is missing.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I was actually I was actually the one who found out about how the
involved. Meanwhile, we're still on the freeway and Anthony is still showing off when all of a sudden Marcus gets the call. At first he ignores the buzzing sound because he's trying to still get Anthony to turn around, but the phone keeps ringing and ringing, and that's when he finally looks at it and sees that it's his dad. And let me tell you, when you get a call from your dad in the middle of the night while you're doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing, you're cooked. He answers the phone and immediately hears his dad yelling. And not even angry yelling, but more panic yelling. He's asking where he is and what he's doing and demanding to know if he's involved with this school bus. Everyone on that bus goes quiet when Mark reported as stolen. Not borrowed, not missing, stolen. I figured we were all getting about 50.
Yeah. I'll actually find.
Marcus answers the call. We can all hear his dad screaming through the phone, even though Marcus is trying to hold it far away from his ear. And just like that, no one on that bus was having fun anymore. Marcus is trying to explain to his dad that it was just supposed to be a harmless senior prank. We weren't actually going to do anything. But then his dad tells us that the school district knows the school bus is missing. They're trying consecutive life sentences for this crime. The whole mood in that school bus completely changed, and after a couple minutes of just sitting in complete silence, Marcus finally said his first words, and all he mouthed was, "We're done." Marcus checking it with GPS. They've already called the police to report that someone stole it. When he said that, we realized we were finished. The police knew what we did. We were gonna be seniors in high school forever because we weren't graduating after this. So what do we do now? Well, Marcus hung up the phone and could not even say a word. We knew that all of us were in trouble at this point, but Marcus might have never been heard from again. His hands were shaking and he couldn't even look at any of us. Finally, this got Anthony to stop showing off and he took the next exit to turn around. I'm sitting there thinking about what's actually gonna happen now. The bus was reported as stolen. Not borrowed, not missing, stolen. I figured we were all getting about 50. We need to return the bus now before anything anything else gets worse. And we all agreed with him, but Anthony was being stubborn. He kept saying, we came all this way, we should at least finish what we started. We already got the school bus, and whatever was going to happen to us was going to happen anyway. So we should go to the principal's house and finish the prank.
Yeah.
This would be our only chance to. Every time he spoke, I became more surprised that this man even made it to senior year of high school. Consecutive life sentences for this crime. The whole mood in that school bus completely changed, and after a couple minutes of just sitting in complete silence, Marcus finally said his first words, and all he mouthed was, "We're done." Marcus explained that his dad was absolutely furious. Not just angry or upset, but genuinely furious in a way that he's never seen before. His dad's job was now on the line because his son and his friends had 4 combined brain cells within the whole group. The school district was asking him questions about how someone even got access to the school bus keys. But then Marcus dropped the real bomb. He said that if we didn't return the school bus immediately, the police would start chasing after it. And we could get charged for this crime by the police. So now, we were officially on the clock. That's when the argument started. Marcus was screaming at Anthony to go back to the bus depot right now. He kept saying we need to return the bus now before anything else gets worse. And we all agreed with him, but Anthony was being stubborn. He kept saying, we came all this way, we should at least finish what we started. We already got the school bus, and whatever was going to happen to us was going to happen anyway. So we should go to the principal's house and finish the prank because this would be our only chance to. Every time he spoke, I became more surprised that this man even made it to senior year of high school. We're all yelling at Anthony to go back to the bus depot now. But ultimately, he was the only one actually comfortable with driving that big of a thing, so we couldn't force him to do anything. So if he wanted to continue driving to the principal's house, there was nothing we could really do about it. Marcus kept trying to reason with Anthony, telling him that his dad could lose his job over. Here's the thing that made this whole disaster even more ridiculous. Anthony goes up to the front door, which he was the only one that wanted to get out at this point. He knocks on it, and after a couple seconds of waiting, nothing. So he knocked again, but a little bit louder this time. And after a couple seconds of waiting now, nothing. The principal never even heard for this, and his family could not afford that. Jake tried to compromise, suggesting that we just drive by the principal's house and honk the horn instead of actually getting out, but Marcus wasn't having it. He said every second we stayed in that bus was making things worse. Anthony was on a mission though. He was going to drive to the principal's house and complete that prank no matter what. He said we were all being dramatic and that everything would work out fine. He promised we'd only spend 3 minutes at the principal's house and then drive back right after. After a couple minutes...
What was that? Tyler, explain yourself, man. Just explain.
Take what you do best and create a website that's worthy of it.
We finally got to our principal's neighborhood. When we saw the right house, Anthony pulled the school bus into the driveway and turned it off. But here's the thing that made this whole disaster even more ridiculous. Anthony goes up to the front door, which he was the only one that wanted to get out at this point. He knocks on it, and after a couple seconds of waiting, nothing. So he knocked again, but a little bit louder this time. And after a couple seconds of waiting now, nothing. The principal never even heard the knock on the door. So after all that risk, all that panic, all that arguing, we drove the school bus to our principal's house, and he didn't even answer the door. Anthony sat outside for probably 2 minutes, waiting and hoping that he would finally come out. But still, nobody answered it. If I had to guess what happened, the principal probably heard a knocking noise, checked his Ring camera, and saw Anthony staring at his front door like this.
Open the door! Open the door!
And he immediately went back to bed. The gate to the bus depot was wide open, and Anthony pulled into the parking lot and parked bus 38 right where it was supposed to go. Turned off the engine, and we just sat there in the bus for a second, looking at all those police lights. Nobody wanted to get off that school bus. While Anthony's waiting for this door to never get answered, Marcus's dad calls him again. He was asking why it was taking so long for this bus to get back. Marcus lied and said that we were almost there. We were just driving slow to make sure we were careful. When Anthony finally did give up and we started actually driving back to the bus depot, that was the most terrifying 5 minutes of my life. And I know I say that literally every video, but this was. The anticipation of what was going to happen next was...
Yeah, he's gonna smile and then he's gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna be arrested and go to you're gonna be going in a queue
just eating at me. And when we finally got back to the school area, we could see flashing lights from probably half a mile away. Blue and red lights reflecting off of all those yellow buses. My heart just dropped into my stomach. We were about to get arrested and have our lives ruined before we even graduated high school. Like, I didn't think my life would get ruined that early. I thought I would at least get to college before I did something stupid that ruined my life. The gate to the bus depot was wide open, and Anthony pulled into the parking lot and parked bus 38 right where it was supposed to go. He turned off the engine, and we just sat there in the bus for a second, looking at all those police lights. Nobody wanted to get off that school bus because we knew once we did, our lives were probably over. Sarah literally started crying. But when we finally got out and started walking toward the police cars, something crazy happened. There was this guy from the school district that was talking to the cops. He was probably from his 40s and wearing a jacket from the high school. He started walking over towards us, and instead of being super angry like we would have thought, he was smiling. A little bit. He told the police officers, once the bus was returned, he told the police officers that everything was fine and he would handle it from here. So with the caretaker of the school buses telling them that everything was okay, the cops left. So we weren't going to jail, but we were probably getting expelled or something, right? Well, we thanked the supervisor probably 1,000 times before asking why he was being so nice about this. And it was in that moment where he told us back when he was in high school, he was a part of the group that released 4 pigs into the classrooms, causing havoc, getting mud all over the place. Yes, he was the group I was talking about earlier in the video. He told us that he knew what it was like to be our age and want to have a really good senior prank. So as long as we promised to never do anything like this again, he wouldn't get us in trouble with the school over this. No punishment at all. Marcus's dad didn't even get in trouble at work, but knowing his dad, Marcus definitely got in trouble, I'll tell you that. The whole thing just disappeared like it never happened. But do you want to know the real reason I think the school supervisor didn't tell anyone about what we did? It's because if no one knew about the senior prank that we just pulled, the prank him and his friends did with the pigs would still be known as the most legendary senior prank ever at our school. But that's just my theory.